guys! Mayong adlaw. Welcome to NatzMath TV. So in this video, since we are done with our discussions about the different laws of exponents, we will now have the application of the laws of exponents about simplifying exponential expressions. So we will start a discussion after this intro. So in simplifying exponential expressions, we need to remember four conditions. Number one, we have to see to it that all exponents are positive. Number two, there are no powers of a power. Number three, each base appears only once. And number four, all fractions must be in simplest form. Okay, so let's start with our first example. So example number one, we are given 3ab quantity raised to 0, that's over 3ab squared quantity raised to negative 2. So we will simplify first the numerator, which has a 0 exponent. The law on 0 exponent states that any non-zero number raised to 0 is just equal to 1. And in this example, since we have 3ab quantity raised to 0, so that means the 3ab, the quantity 3ab is being raised to 0. So that means the numerator is just equal to 1. Then we copy the denominator, 3ab squared quantity raised to negative 2. This time, we need to apply the law on negative exponent for the denominator. So we just simply get the reciprocal of the fraction. So this becomes 3ab squared quantity raised to 2, that's over 1. Then afterwards, we can write this fraction as, since there's no need for us to write 1 as the denominator, so we can write this fraction as 3ab squared quantity squared. And this time, we will now apply the law on power of a product. So, since we have here 3, the exponent of 3 is 1, the same with a, the exponent of a is 1, and b, the exponent of b is 2. So, we can have 3, then 1 times 2 is 2. Then we have a, copy a. Then the exponent of a here is 1 times 2 is 2. Then we have b, the exponent of b is 2. Times 2 is 4. So we have b raised to 4. Then we simplify. 3 squared is equal to 9. 3 squared is 9. So our answer would be 9. A squared b raised to 4. So this is now our final answer. Let's proceed to our next example. We have 3x quantity raised to negative 2. That's over 2y quantity raised to negative 2. Now, as you can see, in the numerator, we have a negative exponent. The same also with the denominator, which is a negative exponent. So what we need to do here is we just simply get the reciprocal of the fraction and indicate the positive exponent. So the denominator becomes the numerator and the numerator becomes the denominator. So meaning we can write this fraction as 2y quantity raised to 3. This becomes positive 3. That's over 3x quantity raised to 2. So our exponent in this fraction is now positive. Then afterwards, we apply the law on power of a product in the numerator and the same law, power of a product in the denominator. So we multiply the exponents. 2 has an assumed exponent 1, the same also with y. So we can write 2 cubed, that's 1 times 3. Then we have the y cubed, that's 1 times 3. For the denominator, the same. We have 3 assumed exponent 1 and x assumed exponent 1. So we have 3 raised to 2 or 3 squared. Then we have x squared. Then we simplify the constant. We have 2 cubed, that is 8. 2y cubed over, for the denominator we have 3 squared. 3 squared is 9. So we have 3 squared is 9. So we have 9x squared. So our final answer is 8y cubed over 9x squared. Next example, we have 2 raised to 4 times 2 raised to negative 1. As you can see, we have here the same base 2 and 2. Okay? So we can apply the law on product of a power, which states that the same base add the exponent. Or we can apply first the law on negative power. Both are correct. But in this case, we will try the law on product of a power. The same base, we add the exponents. So what we need to do is just simply, we have 2 and 2 as our bases. So we copy the base 2. We add the exponent, that is 4 plus the negative 1. So we copy 2. That's 4 plus negative 1 is positive 3. And 2 cubed is just equal to 8. So our final answer is 8. Or we have another process, as I've said earlier, we can apply the law on negative power. So we have 2 raised to 4, then times, we get the reciprocal of 2 raised to negative 1. So that will become 1 over 2. So 1 over 2, because 2 now here has an exponent 1, which is now positive. So 2 raised to negative 1 is just equal to 1/2 or 1 over 2. This time, since this is multiplication, so we can multiply. This is assumed to have denominator 1. So that is 2 raised to 4 times 1, that is 2 raised to 4, over 1 times 2, that is 2. Then 2 raised to 4 is 16. That means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Then over 2. Then 16 divided by 2 is just equal to 8. So we still got the same value, 8. Okay, next example. So we have here 2x raised to negative 4 over 3x raised to negative 2. So as you have observed, the expression is not being enclosed with a parenthesis. So what we need to do is just simply get the reciprocal of the quantity containing the negative exponent. So there is no problem with 2 and 3 because the exponent here is positive. So we just simply get the reciprocal of both x in the numerator and x in the denominator and indicate the positive exponent. So we just simply copy 2. Then we get the reciprocal of these two variables here. So this becomes x squared because this is x raised to negative 2. Then we get the reciprocal, so that's why that is x squared. This is now positive. Over, we have the denominator 3. Then x raised to negative 4, so this becomes x raised to positive 4. Now take note, as I've said, 2 and 3 has a positive exponent. That's why they remain in the numerator and denominator. So we just simply get the reciprocal of the variables x here. Then, we apply now the law on quotient of power. The same base, subtract the exponent. So we have here the same base, x and x. So what we need to do is to subtract the exponent. So this becomes, we copy 2 over 3. So that shall remain 2 over 3. The same base, x. So we have x. We subtract the exponent, that is 2 minus 4. So, this now becomes 2 over 3, that is x raised to 2 minus 4 is negative 2. This time, we have a negative exponent. So, what we need to do is to get the reciprocal, so that becomes 2 over 3 times because that is multiplication. When a variable and constant is being placed together, the operation between the variable and a constant, or a fraction and the variable, is multiplication. So we have 2 over 3, we multiply that with 1 over x squared. Because the reciprocal of this expression here, x raised to negative 2, is 1 over x squared. So then multiply, this gives us 2 over 3x squared. So our final answer would be 2 over 3x squared. Let's proceed to this next example. So we have 5x quantity raised to 2 over y raised to 0. So in this example, there's no problem with the denominator because y is raised to 0. So there's no problem with the denominator. This is just equal to 1. And for the numerator, we will just simply apply the law on power of a product. So this becomes, we copy 5, assume exponent 1 here times 2, that is 5 squared. The same happens for x, so that is x squared, over y raised to 0 is equal to 1. And we simplify the numerator. 5 squared is just equal to 25. That means 5 times 5. Then we copy x squared. We can write assume denominator 1, or the final answer would be 25x squared. There's no need for us to write the denominator 1. So next example, we have here 4x squared over 16x raised to negative 4. So there's no problem with the numerator because the exponent here is positive. But we have a negative exponent in the denominator. So what we need to do here is, we just simply copy the numerator, 4x squared. Then we copy the 16 here because it has an assumed exponent 1, which is positive. Now since this is negative, what we need to do is to bring this negative exponent to the numerator, and we indicate the positive exponent. So we just simply get the reciprocal. So this becomes x raised to 4. So the operation now between x squared and x raised to 4 is multiplication. So this becomes 4, we copy 4, then x squared times x raised to 4, we will apply now the law on power of a product. The same base, we add the exponent. So we copy the base, x, add the exponent, 2 plus 4 is 6. Then we copy the denominator, 16. Then afterwards, we will simplify 4 over 16 by reducing the numerator and denominator by 4. So divide this by 4, divide this by 4. So this becomes x raised to 6 over 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and it has an assumed coefficient here is 1. So then 16 divided by 4 is 4. So our final answer is x raised to 6 over 4. Okay, so that's it. I hope you have learned something from this video. I still have other videos here, so click these videos related to this topic. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share to your friends. So thank you and God bless.